What holds a man up when everything around him begins to collapse? What keeps the soul from giving in when the weight of life grows heavier than expected? And if today is the day when everything demands more from you, more focus, more discipline, more grit, is your internal structure ready? Most men move through life as if time were endless and their foundation unbreakable. But the truth is harsh. Without reinforcement, even the strongest will fall. And it's not a matter of if, but when. In a truck's suspension, the leaf spring is the base, the structure that absorbs the full impact of the road. If it fails, the chassis cracks, control is lost, and the load becomes a threat. The same is true for a man. His suspension is internal. Mindset, emotional strength, discipline. That's why there's a mission to reinforce. To prevent the break before it happens. To adjust before things collapse. To know the limits of your own axle and add steel where life adds pressure. Because what's coming won't go easy on you. But you can become more stable, lighter inside, and more capable on the outside. Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind." Those who rely only on fleeting strength, without spiritual, mental, and emotional maintenance, end up drying out inside even if they appear to be moving. But the one who reinforces his structure with awareness, discipline, and purpose blooms even in dry land. The maintenance of instinct starts here in self-awareness. Knowing how much you can carry, and more importantly, knowing where you still need to prepare. Survivalism is not fear, it's wisdom. It's realizing that today's war uses no visible weapons, but demands invisible preparation, emotional resilience, mental clarity, daily discipline. To reinforce is not a luxury, it's survival. And survival isn't just about being alive, it's about staying whole. The mind is like a spring. If it's not cared for, it wears out, rusts, seizes up. And when it locks up, the whole body feels it. Real men live under pressure, but wise men inspect their structure. The ones who prepare in the small details carry further. Those who strengthen their base overcome with dignity. Those who train the spirit refine their actions. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And that reaction begins with internal reinforcement. So the question repeats, now with deeper meaning. Are you truly ready? Or are you leaning too much on luck and too little on structure? The first reinforcement is invisible, but it's what carries you through the heaviest days. Have you ever seen a spring snap under extreme weight? When there's no reinforcement, there's no support. When the load is heavier than the structure can bear, failure is only a matter of time. Now think, how many men today are walking around with their mind, body, and spirit on the edge of collapse, simply because they've neglected inner reinforcement? Just like a truck needs reinforced suspension to endure long roads with heavy loads, a man needs to strengthen his inner framework. And that begins with awareness of where you are and where you're heading. It's not just about going with the flow, but about understanding the path, reading the signs, hearing the inner noises before they become irreversible failures. Instinct maintenance isn't just about survival. It's about sustainment. It's about knowing when to stop, tighten the bolts, replace the worn-out bushings of the soul, and realign the direction of your spirit. Reinforcement begins when a man admits that mental strength, without discipline, is like a loose leaf spring. It'll collapse at the first bump in the road. Philosophers like Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. The road will hit back, life will jolt you, but the man who prepares with what he has, discipline, emotional intelligence, self-knowledge, and faith, turns every jolt into wisdom, every obstacle into stored strength. And here comes a vital point: adaptation to the environment. Modern survivalism requires more than stocking food or owning a generator. It requires reading the social climate, sensing invisible tensions, treating your health like a weapon, and turning every routine into preparation. A reinforced truck suspension doesn't block impact. It distributes pressure efficiently. The same goes for the man. He learns to absorb pain without breaking, to carry emotional weight without sinking, to understand that physical health is the foundation of mental stability. Sleeping well, eating clean, training your body, avoiding mental poison. These are all part of maintaining the machine you are. Are you using the right tools or trying to tighten bolts with bare hands? Are you reinforcing your foundation or just stacking more weight, thinking you can carry it all alone? There's an old truth. You don't harvest where you haven't sown. Many men today seek results but neglect their seeds. Family, mind, faith, body, and purpose, all of it must be cultivated with patience. Because the day of the heavy load will come. And only those who've reinforced themselves in the details behind the scenes in silence will remain standing. The man of instinct watches his own behavior. He spots where emotional slack exists, where a limiting belief has become a structural crack, and like a good mechanic he acts. He replaces patterns, eliminates bad habits, and strengthens the routines that hold everything up. You think it's just another hard day? Maybe it's a warning. Maybe it's the signal you've been ignoring. Time to inspect your internal suspension. Time to reinforce your mind with truth. To align your heart with purpose. To fine-tune your routine with discipline. Because when the world tightens its grip, and it will tighten, only those who prepared in advance will stay whole. Instinct maintenance is silent, steady, and strategic, and the reinforcement of your mental suspension will determine how much weight you can carry without losing your direction. Be the man who doesn't break on first impact. Be the one who uses pressure to grow stronger. Who sees hardship as a workshop for refinement. Because in the end, as Seneca once said, difficulty shows what men truly are. And the real man, the man of instinct, doesn't fear the weight. He trains for it. The reinforcement has been done. Now the foundation is solid. But strength without direction leads to wear. A man who wants to bear life's weight needs more than toughness. He needs adjustment. In mechanics, a part isn't always broken, sometimes it's just loose. Same goes for men. Many fall not from lack of skill, but from ignoring the small fixes, scattered thoughts, sloppy routines, purpose without center. Discipline is the final tightening, the emotional torque that keeps everything in line, and it's born in small choices made daily. Instinct may spark the fire, but consistency keeps it burning. The aligned man walks with less friction. He doesn't get lost in distractions or carry more than he should. He learns to balance the load, body, mind, and mission. Ever seen a truck tip over because the weight wasn't distributed right? That's what happens when someone pours all effort into one area and neglects the rest. Life demands balance. Emotional intelligence is the shock absorber. It softens the blows. Humility is the grease that prevents ego from grinding. Resilience becomes the spring that supports without snapping. As Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 9:27, I discipline my body and bring it into submission, so that after preaching to others, I myself will not be disqualified. That's how you keep your structure alive. You make the adjustments before failure. Instinct maintenance is built on anticipation. Self-awareness detects the slack. Consistent practice builds stability. So check yourself. Is one axle bearing too much weight? Are you aligned or are your thoughts twisted? Are you holding strong or just storing tension? This journey calls for firmness and flexibility. Like a leaf spring, it holds because it bends and resets. The world won't lighten the load, but you can strengthen yourself. If this message hit home, drop a like, share it with someone walking this road with you, and check the links. Here at Instinct Mechanics, we reinforce more than just the frame. We strengthen the spirit.